The Unsigned Podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned Podcast. I think it's episode 16 now.
Really?
Episode 16.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
The sweet 16.
Christ, that was a while ago.
For you.
And you, really. 11 years ago.
It was a while.
Established.
No, it was.
I've got my glasses on.
I was about to say, you've never done your glasses.
Never worn my glasses. Taking them off now.
Do you remember your 16th?
Yeah, I do. So on my 16th, we had a bit of a house party at my mum and dad's house. Mum and stepdad's house. Well, my stepdad will call my dad because he's been around since I was 5. He's the reason I support Man United as well.
You couldn't wait, could you?
We won't go into it. We won't go into it. I did think earlier, shall I put my kit on? No, I won't put my kit on. And I couldn't even put I was going to put like socks on.
Shin pads.
Yeah, I was going to come in full kit wanker.
Full kit wanker, yeah.
Anyway, no, that's not why I was saying it. But so we had like a party around their house, and I think we had. I created a CD. Like, do you remember in the old days when you had to create a CD of your favourite songs as opposed to just putting them on a Spotify
just so
playlist?
it could be played at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to do that, and I remember, I think 50 Cent was on it. I'm pretty sure that Eminem was on it.
Yeah.
I think the Killers
Nice.
might have been on it as well. But yeah, no, it was good. But then my dad came as well, and he bought us like a bottle of champagne, and I did the Formula One thing of just squirting it over everyone.
Oh, no.
He was like, that was quite expensive.
Yeah, you're supposed to save that to your 21st.
Shit, sorry. But yeah, I remember my 16th. Although, yeah, it was like, how long ago is that?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
19 years ago.
Wow.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. You tell me.
No, it is right. I'm 35. That's disgusting, isn't it?
How time flies when you're having fun.
Jesus. Yeah, so that's a nice depressing start. How have you been?
Good. Rob's back. We didn't do that
back.
one. Yeah.
And Manish is here too. And Manish has a mic.
Yeah, I got a mic.
Hey.
Going up in the world.
Well, the thing was, sorry, Rob. The thing was, because like I said before we came on, that we ask every now and again, if it's you or my dad that's here, we ask you like certain things, and then no one can hear you. So it's like we thought, well, you know, we've only got one guest coming in today, so have a mic.
It works out. You can hear my voice.
Hear your voice. Yeah. Exactly.
The opinions from behind, I guess you could call them.
From behind
the camera.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. What's going on back there? What
Don't
did you ask? What? Yes.
How have you been, I say? Because it's been really 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks since I was last here. We saw each other last week.
We did.
Yeah.
Thursday.
It was a hot one Thursday.
It was a hot one. So tell everyone what we did. What you did on Thursday.
We did.
I came. You carry on.
It was that kind of Thursday. Just when you can't. Thursday's the new Friday. Admissions had a gig in Brentwood. Put on by Card Trick Music at the SX Bar. Which I didn't realise was actually attached to Essex Arms.
Yeah, so I went into the Essex Arms, right, and I said to the guy who at the bar who seemed a bit gormless, and I was like, "Right, mate," I said, "Where's your venue?" And he went, "What?" I was like, "Where's your venue?" And he was like, "Next door." And I went, "All right," because I came from like the top end of the road.
I did the same. I walked into the pub with guitar and everything that you have to hand, and the looks I got as in fuck off.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yeah. But no, bar was good. The gig was good. It was, I think I would say, the hottest gig I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And played at the same time. It was warm.
You looked like you had a shower afterwards.
I had a shower. I had a shower before we started. Even just standing watching Gold Frames, who was supporting.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Really good band actually.
Really good
I'd
band.
never seen them before.
Jack, who plays lead guitar for them, is also in Under One Sun.
Yes.
So they were there. A couple of lads from them.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah, it was.
Really happy with it. It was warm.
It was warm.
It was warm.
I think a lot of people made the mistake of going outside. I mean, I know that's the obvious thing to do when it's warm inside,
go out, cool down, come back in.
Yeah, because it's then like even hotter again when you come in.
You was the only one actually that stood inside for the whole 2-3 hours maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
I climatised, I think, but then I did go home and shower.
Oh, I did. I went home, got Chinese on the way home.
Nice.
And had to shower before I could have my Chinese. It was bad, but I got in the car after cooling down, but still being sweaty. I was so cold, I was shaking driving home. It was too hot to turn. I couldn't turn the heating on in the car.
No.
But no, that was that. Gig was really good. And
It was tight. I enjoyed it. It was the first time I'd seen you guys in a little while, and the last one I saw you at was the festival.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was nice to see you in a small room because it was just
different. I enjoyed it. It was. There was things happened. It just felt good.
Jack
String broke, bless him.
He can still play though, can't he?
I didn't know what was going on. I looked at the string, I was like, he's buggered now. And he made a big thing out of it. I watched it play, I was like, that string wouldn't have been touched anyway for the next like solo or whatever you're about to do.
I wouldn't have even noticed if it would or wouldn't, but he was. No. I saw you sort of like nudging it and doing backing vocals. It
was just funny. Like I looked at him, I was like, string's gone. Go on then, what are you gonna do? Like this one's on you. I know there's spare guitars like behind us. We're not helping you. We Kiersey's not gonna reach one over for you. So how are you gonna deal with this? And I think he did. He pulled it off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He pulled it off. It was just so hot. I can't remember how hot it was.
No, I know.
The lights were good though, and without bragging. It had nothing to do with me. But
one of I wish that the photos on my phone were better because I wish I had like my proper camera with us or something. Because there was one bit where you were all gathered around each other. I can't remember what site. It might have been Kill the Switch, and you were all around Max.
No, I know it was Faces.
Oh,
so
okay.
The new one that we're going to be recording.
Right. Okay.
Which, as we speak, the rest of the band are in a room back in Essex, going through it with a fine-tooth comb, trying to add extra bits.
Well done, team. Sorry, I nicked him.
Yeah. No. I'd rather be here. That's a strenuous job. Strenuous. That word?
Strenuous is a very good word. Yeah, like laborious tasks.
Stick that on your Scrabble.
Laborious as well.
Yeah, that as well. So that was the new one. We've been trying to work it into the set. We play it. Our thinking is if we play it live, it becomes tighter. We go to record it. Everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But there was a bit that's the breakdown at the end. It's not really a breakdown. It speeds up. Bit of an instrumental bit at the end where the lights were just flicking from green to black, weren't they? Really quick.
That's when I was trying to take the photos, and there was a bit of you, and you were almost like arched back, and I was like trying to get photos of like.
I'll tell you why I was arching back. So sweat was running in my face. So I was like, that's why he's trying to get it off my eyes.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to be an artist.
No, just sweat ridden.
No.
But that was. I think that's the first time we've played something.
Yeah. There's
been lights, and it's still come together and gone. Fuck me, that was tight, and we knew. As we were doing it, it looked. I couldn't see what was doing, what was happening.
Yeah.
But I just sat there thinking, this looks fucking cool.
It did look really cool, and like I think the night was really good, and it was nice to see you guys, play a small room and stuff. I sort of tried like tuning into because the thing is for me when I hear a song, like I always hear the drums first because I've already told you before. I used to play a very little bit.
Yeah,
I sort of want to get my drum kit back out as well.
I think you should.
Honestly, I've really started to.
There's a gig somewhere where you are.
Yeah,
involved.
Not that one.
No, it's too.
No, not that one. But no, I've got an electronic drum kit at my dad's in the loft somewhere, and I feel like I need to get that out.
It's time.
I was listening to
Unleash the Wherry.
I started listening the other day to like new metal. I had a bit of a day a couple of days ago, and I was just a bit angry. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back to like some new metal.
Nice.
And I went back and I was listening to who did it have on there? It had a bit of Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit with Break Stuff. Slipknot, Korn, like all of those sort of artists. Evanescence were on there, and I thought I haven't listened to Evanescence.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Evanescence in ages. So yeah, that was quite.
The drum kit's coming out then.
I think it might do. Yeah, I think it might do. But it was nice to be at that gig and see everyone and be a part of it. But it was good. I enjoyed it.
That's the question I was going to ask. So I think, and tell me if I'm wrong. Since we released Noise Complaints Before 9 out now, by admissions on Spotify. Since we released that EP,
yep.
I think this is the first time you've seen us live.
Yep.
Did it make a difference from seeing us at the festival we don't talk about?
Yeah.
Where you
Voldemort
knew the odd tracker from here and there, where you sent it over to yourself.
Yeah.
And you was watching from a fresh perspective, I guess you could say, to watching the gig then.
Yeah, well, it's even more of a contrast because I saw you at the Chinnery's first when I knew of you, and you guys had uploaded Aqua Tofana, I think. No, OWP.
Yeah.
Maybe Aqua Tofana. And then the track that you released between those two gigs, between the Chinnery's and the festival, I think was Building on Tomorrow.
Yep.
So I knew a few tracks, but then like listening to the EP and then obviously seeing you guys play live on Thursday, there was obviously more to it that I had realised, and I sort of enjoy. Groove Master I've seen a couple of times as well.
What do you mean more to it? As in,
I knew more of the song. I knew more of the lyrics,
right, I'm
and
with you.
It was I
I
think
mean like realizing what each bit is.
no, so what I was going to say, I find it sometimes quite difficult to tune into. So for example, when like Jack and Joe are playing, I can always hear what you're doing, and I can hear what obviously can hear
damn
Kirsty.
straight.
And what I mean is I can differentiate you from the guitars, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Max and Kirsty are drums and vocals, but do they like switch like to be lead on different songs?
Depending on what. Most of the time it is Jack. You'll tend to notice, and I think that's something they're really trying to go out of their way to do now, because I don't think a lot of new bands do it enough or do it at all. That's a big statement. Is dueling guitar solos.
Right.
So tell me if I'm wrong, but I think back in the 80s, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a band off the top of my
Yeah, are
head
you
that does
saying,
it.
correct me if I'm wrong, because I was born in the 80s?
No, you just
I
got
was
more
born
of
in
a-
87.
No, you just got more of a wide music range. My
right,
music
okay.
knowledge than me.
Okay.
So it was a big thing back in the 80s.
Nice save, by the way.
I think thank you. We played in the cover band I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Yep.
There is a dual guitar solo in that, or
Yeah.
the guitar solo and the harmony kicks
But
in at the same
like
time.
that's darkness, isn't it? And the
Yeah.
darkness is very much a throwback to
The glam rock,
glam rock,
essentially. And we've been to seeing a lot of new bands, unsigned bands, all that, lots of new music. And we've noticed a lot of bands have guitar, drums, vocals, bass, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, that kind of
yeah,
setup.
that's right. Yeah.
And we're quite lucky that Jack can play the solo, but Joe can also find the harmony and play it at the same time, which we haven't seen a lot of bands do. And we figured maybe that's kind of our, not niche, because you don't want to be throwing it into every song. But yeah, no, I forgot.
Secret weapon every
exactly.
now.
I forgot I was going with that point.
Well, because I was trying to decipher who was doing what. I can't remember what songs it was. Obviously, I can see that Jack's like the lead on a lot of them.
Yeah.
But there were a couple where I was like looking at him. I was like, he's not doing that. And I looked at Joe, and Joe was going for it.
Yeah,
So it was
like
sort of
Aquatafana,
yeah.
Joe plays the solo in it. Why? I don't know. It was just how it turned out.
Well, is it something along the line? If you guys are writing a song,
Yeah.
like I'm assuming that you all throw in your different bits. So as an example, if you were writing a fresh song now, and then Joe was like, "Oh, what about this?" I'm assuming then Joe would then get to play that within the track when it's
yeah, exactly that. But if 9 times out of 10, we sit Jack down first with the guitar and go, do your lead. Like we've got the chords, we know what's going on. Do the lead stuff. If he's not getting it, because he does get it, or we'll input and we get it eventually, but he might go, Joe, do you want this one? Just for no reason other than, do you want it?
Yeah.
Joe go, yeah, I'll have a crack at it. And then they both sit there, guitars plugged in. Whoever comes up with what, we go, that'll do. And it's not decided like, this one's yours, that one's mine.
No, I what I meant is that, say for example, someone's like struck with a bit of inspiration and then comes up with something, then I'd expect there'd be the lead on that track, or is it like you say, it just sort of varies?
Once again, yes or no. Joe will have an idea, play it, and Jack will copy it, and he'll go, I'll stick that in.
Yeah, okay.
And they've both technically written it in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it'll be Jack.
Well, I enjoyed the gig anyway.
Thank you.
And it was nice to see a new band in Gold Frames. It was their first actual live gig, wasn't it?
First live gig. They had a really good support.
What do you mean?
As in crowd.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, as in,
They were the support.
They were, no, as in there was a really good crowd.
Yeah, they had a
to
good
it.
crowd there, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was nice to see everyone turned out to support them.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say to them, that's not how it works. Like, you're not getting this every gig. Like, your nan and granddad aren't coming to every gig.
The funny thing is, you are like, I think, was it Louise who called you a pessimist? I think that there is, you got to let them have their moment.
No, I was really happy for them. Like, I spoke to them afterwards.
Yeah.
Said, well done, loved it, which we did.
Yeah.
And kind of congratulated them. I don't think they realised who Joe was. Not as in Joe Whitby.
Your Joe?
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think they realised he was in the band.
Okay.
So Joe would
He did turn up late though. He didn't sound check either.
Neither did I.
Oh, right.
Yeah. My sound check was listening to Kirsty, Jack and Mac's sound check while I was locked outside because I couldn't get in. Joe went up to kind of say, well done, like, perfect. That was really good.
Yeah.
And I don't think they meant it. I think they was just, everyone was talking to him. And rather than saying, yeah, good luck to you, like, talking about was confident, oh, thank you. And turned around and left him, and he just stood there like, Like, they didn't mean to. I think there was so many friends and stuff.
The thing is, they had a really good following for their first gig, and hopefully that continues for them. And it was Jack, who's in Under One Sun and in Gold Frames. He come and spoke to me after, and I didn't expect he knew who I mean, obviously they played the gig for us in Southend,
Yeah.
so I knew, I know Jack, but at the same time, I thought he had so many people there, but he still come over to us, said hello, and said thanks for coming and all that.
Guys.
Like, really nice
Genuinely
guys.
nice guys. I'm keen to see their album. I think think they are recording.
Yeah, they're recording some stuff at the moment. They haven't released any tracks.
I don't know if it is an album actually. I just know
It might be an EP.
But they're at SS2. They haven't hidden that, so I'm trying not to give anything away.
Oh, right.
I'm just going off what's on their Instagram.
Fair enough. When I spoke to Jack, he messaged me a couple of days later and said that, whenever they have got tracks out, upload them to us, and then we can play them obviously on the radio. So that'd be interesting. But you can go find, I think they're Gold Frames UK if you want to go and give them a little look. Under One Sun also we mentioned, and obviously Admissions UK. Is that right?
That is right, yeah.
Yes.
Admissions UK. Depending on what you're listening to, but Admissions UK.
I just meant Instagram. Everything I do is through Instagram, I think.
I think it's the biggest one.
Yeah.
As long as Instagram and TikTok match up.
Yeah.
Do people still use Twitter?
Do you know what? On Twitter. So I basically use it. I use it when I'm watching football, and I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do it when I'm watching football. I'll pretend I'm a pundit, and I'll say things here and there. Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of them. So
you watch your phone, not the TV.
No, do you know what I did yesterday?
You muted me.
I did. I thought. Right. So to level with everyone, it's Tuesday. Last night it was Man United versus Liverpool. We're not going to go into it a great deal, apart from the fact that Rob's a Liverpool fan. I'm a Man United fan, and I thought that I'd get a load of messages from you, just taking the piss out of me, basically, because I just thought that Liverpool would turn up and that would be that, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I don't want to speak to you because you'll just be giving me shit all evening. So I literally put my phone down, like face down on the table next to me, and left it there. And when it got to half time, I thought, I'll have a little look. And then I saw.
I was having a nightmare.
I was watching it. Oh, you were watching it?
I was watching it as well. Yeah.
Not on Sky Sports though, were you?
No. Why was I?
Well, because you told me you're like, I'm a bit behind you, so don't tell me.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, yeah. No, I found alternative sources of viewing.
Fair enough.
From the Spanish media. I was having a nightmare last night. Back on Monday night last week. So I sat down. I was like, I'm gonna have a couple of beers and watch the football. It's Monday. I've had a tough day. Georgia sat and read, kept herself.
Oh, it was nice to meet Georgia, by the way.
Oh yeah, she was really complimentary. On the way home.
Of me or of you?
Of you.
Oh right, okay, cool.
Are they polite? I was like, oh yeah. And like my mum. And so I sat down for a couple of beers. I thought I'm gonna watch the first half. Towards the end of the first half, I'm gonna put my dinner in, and then see what happens.
Oh my god, I know where you're going with this
and
now.
see what happens. And so I had a couple of beers. It's coming up like 35th minute, whatever. Chuck some chips in the oven. Got my pizza out. Chucked it in the oven. I forgot about it. No, I didn't forget about it. It just something happened in the oven. Went back to watching football. 2-0 down, half time. Was it half time? 2-0?
No, it was 1-0.
1-0. So 1-0 half time. Went to check my dinner, and the fucking pizza had fallen through. As in, you've got the grill, the tray.
Yeah.
The
so
tray.
you didn't put it on a tray.
I didn't put it on a tray. No.
You just put it on the shelf,
I've cooked pizzas like that before.
Oh yeah, no, I have. Yeah, of course you have.
And it fucking fell through the slab.
Joel, I'll send you the photo and you can slot it in.
Yeah,
here.
It just. So 1-0 down. I was looking at it. I was like, "Fuck this." I was like, I'm so tempted to turn it off. But no, we're not talking about football.
No, we're not talking about football.
Music.
Well, I did want to, Manish, I'm going to ask you a question. Obviously, on Monday nights, we'll get off the football subject, but Archway Tavern host the acoustic sessions, don't they?
Yeah.
So who did you guys have who were up at the pub yesterday? People to watch out for?
A lot of musicians.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know the names of at the moment.
You told me about the Brazilian band.
Yeah, so at the end there was this Brazilian band and we went all out. They had like a tambourine, a saxophone. Oh my God, it was crazy. Yeah, because I was trying to because it's like sort of a big venue, but it's an acoustic set. So
Yeah.
I spent a lot of brain power trying to push the limits of volume and without getting any feedback.
Yeah.
And I did a pretty good job, to be fair.
Of course you did.
Yeah, thanks. And everyone was loving it. Yeah, everyone's bopping. There was dancing involved.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, if you head over to the Islington Radio Instagram, it's got a list of all the artists. I can't keep track because I keep doing.
There's so many in
a
there.
bunch, yeah.
If people want to get involved with it, how do they touch base?
Shoot a DM to Islington Radio Instagram or get in touch with @Gracing Your Ears, which is Gracie.
Gracie, yep.
Yeah, she's cool. She'll provide all of the support and book you in.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So if you're in the North London area or anywhere in London area, and you fancy having a bit of a go at the acoustic sessions, make sure you get yourselves booked in. Talking of it, what else I was going to ask you? With the SX bar, is that the first time you played there?
SX bar, yeah.
Yeah, not the sex
no,
bar.
No, or Essex bar. First time I've been there, played there.
You have? Oh no, it's the first time.
No,
right.
that was the first time. Yeah. Because I think it's only just been taken over by Card Trick Music.
Yeah, so they've taken that over, so that's their own venue now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Working in partnership, I think, with the Essex Arms.
Yeah. It's like the Essex Arms are just like, man, you deal with it.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with it in a really good way.
Yeah.
I'm far impressed with the sound rig, the lighting rigs they've got up.
Yeah, it's nice to meet. I mean, I didn't have much of a chat with Adam, but because he owns Card Trick, doesn't he?
Mm.
But
they're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going back there.
Yeah. When the
It'd
air
be nice.
conditioning's working.
They have bought an aircon now.
They said it would be fixed on Saturday, didn't they?
On Saturday. I was thinking, fucking, we're doing that now. I don't know if you saw. So where the stage looked out towards the crowd.
Yeah.
Up here, big fucking fan, not doing anything. One of those big like silver industrial fans.
Right.
Just pointing the ceiling. Not
No, I
plugged in,
didn't
nothing.
notice.
I saw it after the gig. I thought, what I'd give for that right now? What
No,
I'd
I
give for
didn't
that.
see that. It was a sweaty night, but I enjoyed it. But I went to that gig, your gig on Thursday, and mate, my ears were like, it wasn't even both of them. It was my right ear was just like almost like stuffy for the rest of that evening, and also the following day.
You was stood quite close.
It's because I was videoing. Well, I was like doing
Yeah.
stuff for TikTok, and I was like, I wanted to get like you guys doing your thing, so I always stood quite close. But I did. Did I say to you? I think I said to you they need potentially a couple of speakers towards the back,
Yeah.
just to hear, just so it's a little, so there was a bit more
Spread it out a little.
bit more spread
You
out.
could
rather
quiet
than
it down, spread it out.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Turn the vocals up a bit. I think.
It's always the problem, turning the vocals up.
What do you mean?
My theory is, unless you go and see a band that you know or that are big and established, you can never understand what they're singing in a venue. So you go, so if you go watch a support band like Brixton or somewhere like that,
Yeah.
you don't really understand the words. They're all muffled. You go to Milton Keynes Bowl, you don't really know what they're singing if it's a band that you don't know.
Right.
You go to a venue like SX Bar, unless it's a big established band, a big established band even, the vocals just aren't loud enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe I know because I've listened to your stuff quite a bit. Maybe because I know the tracks in more detail.
Yeah.
I do hear it, but I know what you mean. It's one of those things, isn't it? You sort of end up making up your own lyrics.
A little bit, essentially, yeah. I do think people are still starting to sing along to some of our tracks though.
Yeah.
Build on Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that people sing along to it.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. Kirsty was really trying to encourage. She actually said at the beginning of the track, didn't she? She was like, right, when we get to like this bit, these are the lyrics. I want you to sing it back. So she was very much.
Not hard.
Who was the band who come to watch who you're also playing with on Friday?
Chemi Queen.
Okay.
Yeah, so on Friday, you just said it. On Friday.
I need to, I swear I'm your manager.
on Friday. Do you want to be our manager? We'll have a conversation about that.
I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I? I was saying to Manish literally before you got here. I feel like I've got too much going on at the moment.
Too much.
I feel like at the moment, like last few days, it's just been a bit like.
Yeah.
So
No.
maybe not yet.
Yeah. So Friday the 26th.
Yep. Which is when this will be on Patreon, probably. But if not,
the chances are by the time you hear
it's probably gone.
The gig's gone. So.
But anyway,
We'll skip past that. And that's
no. Tell me about the
Friday just gone. We played with Trash Monroe, with a Bloom and Chemi Queen at Castle Main in Basildon. It was massive.
It was a really good night.
Huge.
It was a really good night. It was better than the other one.
All female fronted band.
Yes.
And Chemi Queen are becoming good friends of ours.
Yep.
We played with them once up in Norwich at the B2 Brickmakers.
Oh, I think you told me about that one before. Yeah. Is that when Max sort of went missing with his drum kit? Was it that one?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
No. No. It was when the kick went.
Oh, okay.
So we ended up with the sound tech for the last song,
Hitting the mic.
trying to literally trying to guess when the kick was coming in, of which we're trying to finish the song and just hear.
Do you think Max's drum is as impressive as it is because he has quite long hair? So, because when he's going for it, he's like
goes around in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if I'm doing that,
You ain't got the same effect.
no, I think I'd need like a.
And he managed to only drop the stick once at the
I
gig.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought, fuck yeah, now.
I kind of see it going on. No, you're on your own.
I did because he stopped drumming at one point, and
deal
you
with
looked
that
round, and I just saw him like smiling.
Well, kind of like when you can tell when part of the drum kit cuts out that he's dropped a stick. So of which, as I hear that, I'm not fussed about his stick. I'm just more going 1, 2, 3, 4, like trying to keep with that previous time for when he kicks back in. I think we've kind of nailed that now.
Good.
By bad habit of him dropping sticks.
Right, I need to jump onto a couple of things before our guest is here. Right, so what I've started to do, I can't actually do it because I've just realised my thing ain't working, so I'll do it in the next section because I can't do it. I'm having trouble with this again.
IT issues.
Oh, it's so annoying. I might get the. Oh no, I can't.
Paper copy is what is the way forward. Paper.
I'm just trying to not have to use as much paper because I want to be good for the environment. I've got it, you bastard. Oh, maybe not. I'll figure it out in a bit. Basically, it's news that have come out over the last 7 days of gigs that are coming up. So your gig would have been on there, but obviously it would have been gone by the time in there. We know the Lucetters and San Quentin have just announced the gig as well.
That's going to be a big one.
I think it's on the 6th or the 3rd of October.
That is a big one for both of them.
Yeah, with the Skinner Brothers.
Yeah. That's going to be... Yeah. I'm going to try and get tickets for that one.
Yeah, I am. I was chatting to Owen yesterday. And Tommy, and I said that they were both like, "Oh, are you going to come down for it?" So, I hope so, definitely. Get it. I think I've got it in diary.
I mean, I love watching both of them, but I think the Skinner Brothers are going to be big.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of them where you look back and go, "Oh, Arctic Monkeys play Ginneries." Yeah, I think it's that kind of scenario that you need to go see them.
Need to be there to see it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, well, I'll get some more announcements up in a minute for you when we get into the next section because we have B. Arnold coming into the studio. I actually went and saw her on Friday. So we went and saw her and Heidi was supporting. So we'll talk to her all about that. Mm-hmm. And also, we've got our event coming up, which is part of the Future Hits Presents The Great Leslie. That's going to be at Hotbox in Chelmsford. You can go and get tickets for that via our website, which is unsignedmusic.uk/events, or you can go on the Future Hits website on the events tab on there, or go to hotboxliveevents.com, I think. Just search for Hotbox Live Events. It's on there via Dice. Oh, it's the 29th of September, if you didn't already know.
We've talked about it enough.
We have. We haven't today, but we have talked about it quite a lot. But anyway, we're going to have a quick break. We're going to go and get B, and we'll see you in section...
Oh, 2. We're going to do number 2.
See you in section 2. Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned podcast. As some of you may know, I'm an ambassador for MATES, which is Mental Health Awareness Through Educational Speaking. They're a peer-to-peer support group. They're based in Essex, but they've got a group on Facebook, and there's a load of great ambassadors out there, all offering out some support. If you want more information, go to their website, weareyourmates.com. But let's get back to the episode.
The Unsigned podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Unsigned podcast. We are joined by B. Arnold. And Rob and Manish.
Still here.
You're still here. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. You found us.
Finally. Eventually.
Oh, mate, it is a bit of a pain to get to because you come from, is it Brentwood or Chelmsford or?
Kind of in the middle of the two. So,
in Gatestone.
Well, it's literally in this tiny village in the middle of nowhere. We call it Narnia because it's just like, it's like everyone that comes to my house does what I did to get here. Like calling me like, where am I? What's going on?
I've cycled around that way a bit, like around Blackmore and places like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I definitely got lost around there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really confusing. It's just field upon field.
Nice though.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Lovely. We wanted to get you on because not only did I come and see your gig on Friday, which was very good, we'll get on to that, but also you submitted a couple of tracks to us in the past, which we have played on the radio. So we wanted to get you in for a little while and finally got you in.
Yes, finally.
So the concept of what we do on here, in case I'm sure you have watched, but in case you haven't, what we do is we sort of do a bit of a get to know you thing and we do your dream gig. But we're going to flip it this week. We're going to do your dream gig first, all right? How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. So what we're going to do is, so when we've done this with all of the guests that have been in so far. And I think I might take festival out of it because everyone always chooses Glastonbury, don't they?
Glastonbury, Reading, yeah. It's very cliche.
Yeah, so we'll take it, we're just going to do venue.
Standalone venue.
Standalone venue. So your dream gig, you're going to choose your venue, you're going to choose who's going to be on the bill with you. You're going to choose stuff like this.
You should have given me a warning.
No, I am. Right? So
You've got 10 seconds.
You've just done a gig. You've just arranged a gig. You know how to...
Arranged.
This is hard.
Arranged.
I got that one. Arranged.
Fuck off. So yeah, you've just arranged a gig. So you should be fully in the swing of this. So what would be your dream venue we're taking festival out of it. What would be your dream venue?
I feel like I'd really love to perform at the O2 purely because I've just been there to watch so many of my favourite artists. So I feel like it would be really good fun.
Who's the best one you've seen there then? Or who's your favourite?
Oh God, I don't know. I've seen so many different people. Recently, I think the most two recent people I saw was Bring Me the Horizon and Dua Lipa. So a bit of a contrast.
Yeah, I was going to say, massive contrast, yeah.
But yeah, they were both really good. But I feel like every show, because it's such a big venue, they can do so much with... I think I saw Miley Cyrus and she just came into the middle and there was just a podium. And like because it's so big, you can just do almost whatever you want with it. So... yeah.
Good venue. I saw... who haven't? I've seen a couple. I saw Muse there.
Oh, nice.
Doing whatever you liked. They flew a blimp around the room.
Did they?
Whatever,
Just
part of their drones tour.
Right.
They had a drone, so they flew this big fucking blimp around the O2.
Fair enough.
One night, it actually crashed in the crowd. I wasn't there for that.
Jesus.
And Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
They fit it out.
I went back to that album the other day, the first one. What was it called?
Whatever You Say I Am, That's What I'm Not.
Yeah. I went back and listened. We were talking, right? So every time we have a band or an artist on here, I think Arctic Monkeys are the one that gets mentioned the most. So I thought, do you know what? I need to go back and listen to it because there's so much music that everyone talks about and everyone comes from very different backgrounds. So obviously what you've just mentioned about seeing Bring Me to the Horizon and Dua Lipa, two very different artists. And a lot of people come up growing like from their dad's record collection. I think the Ariston mentioned people like from the 70s and stuff like that. And it's like, there's so many different genres out there and so many different artists I haven't listened to. So they're all chatting away like, oh yeah, what about them? And I'm like, fucking clue. I don't know.
No?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow, I wish I knew that at the time.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. So I feel like you said earlier about me having a bit of a, like, I think you only base this on age, but you said I have a wider music knowledge than you, which is wrong. I don't.
No, the reason I thought that, and I'll back myself up on it, no, is because you do a hell of a lot of stuff in music. And since a young age, your dad has been off touring.
Yeah.
That was my...
He's in rehearsals this week.
Yeah, I know. He's told me.
Oh.
You know?
Weird.
No, I talk to your dad when we're here. I listen.
Yeah.
They're getting it for free.
What?
The rehearsal
space.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't know.
You must know that.
You know more than him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your dad's getting the rehearsal space for free.
Yeah, I don't think that's because of him, though.
Because the singer knows the person that owns it.
Oh, right. Well, that's favours, isn't it? It's all about favours.
2 ears, 1 mouth. That's what I'll say.
Anyway, so he's gigging at the moment. No, I don't know. That was all just a lot of 80s stuff, I think. But anyway, I need to expand my thing. So the O2 is what you said. We went off on a massive tangent. You have got 3 artists at your dream gig. You and 2 more. You can choose who they are and where they feature on the bill. Someone's got to headline it. Someone's got a main support. Someone's got to be the opener.
The panic in everyone's face when you say this. Like,
it's so hard to think. I'm hard. Like I struggle at the best of times with the questions like this. So
Well, put it this way, right? Give yourself a bit of thinking time. So let's talk about your gig you done on Friday.
Okay.
Right. So how did it come about when you were choosing? Obviously, you were headlining it because it was your gig.
Yeah.
But how did you select your support?
So I actually saw Heidi from your channel.
Right.
And then I kind of checked her out, checked her music out, and that's how I found her. And then my friend Malik, his boyfriend is brothers with my sister's best friend.
Right.
Something like that.
That was quite convoluted.
Something like that, yeah.
Someone's got a boyfriend, someone's got another boyfriend, and then they're related, and it's
right.
a bit of a confusing situation. But that's how we kind of knew each other.
Right.
And then he said he does music, and then I just kind of wanted to help and support him. So that's kind of how that.
He was full of energy.
Oh, yeah, literally.
It was like
so many good vibes.
He's like a tall guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't know the right way of saying, when like, I don't want to call it a slut drop.
It's a slut drop. It's the slut drop.
Show us.
I'm not showing you because I'll
us.
rip my shorts. I said that to so my wife came. I've done that again. Me and Charlotte came to your gig on Friday, didn't we?
You've been told off for that, haven't you? That was that was definitely something you've been picked up on.
I just don't think a Borat impression is an appropriate thing to do. So I apologise. But me and Charlotte came, and I said when he kept doing that, I was like, Jesus, I wouldn't get up again if he done it.
Honestly, I can't even walk after wearing heels on a night out, let alone dancing in them as well. So I really don't know how he did it.
How many slut drops?
Oh, at least 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Proper. They're the longest nails I've ever seen as well.
Yeah, they were absolute claws.
Yeah. So now, have you thought of your headliners now? I mean, your main support now for your dream gig? So you said you've seen Dua Lipa,
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it would be fab to have Dua Lipa on the bill, but I feel like it's very unrealistic.
No, but it's your dream gig. So,
Okay.
right, I'll give you some examples, right? So when we've had this before, we've had certain artists, like we said earlier about Arctic Monkeys, they chose a very specific moment of the Arctic Monkeys when they released their first record. I'm pretty sure that someone said Queen with Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Do you remember who you guys said when we had admissions in? Do you remember who you
I
said?
think we had Biffy Clyro
Yeah.
on the bill and Foo Fighters maybe. It was it was something. It was two big names.
Yeah. So you can have anyone you want. It's like basically you're thinking at this dream gig, you've made it and you're the biggest superstar in the world and you can have whoever you want at your gig at the O2. You're doing a residency at the O2 for a whole month. You can choose who you want your
That's a
people
big gig.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Well, I don't know. How long does the residency last? Like, you think, like, Adele actually didn't do it in Vegas, did she? But, like...
That's true, actually.
So, an Elton John residency at Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe they do go on for a month.
I reckon they probably do.
Don't know.
I think you're right, maybe. Okay, I feel like I would have Leah Kay opening. I don't know if you guys have...
No, I haven't.
She kind of released, like, half her stuff is, like, Dua Lipa, and then the other stuff is kind of just half... I don't know, it's got kind of like a indie sort of punk sort of vibe to it. Kind of like... Yeah, I can't really think of anyone to compare it to, but she's really cool. She's an American artist, and then I feel like I would have to say Dua Lipa.
Yeah, Dua Lipa's smashing it, isn't she? She's
amazing.
Quality. I imagine the shows that she puts on are incredible.
Yeah, literally, she was so good.
Like the first time I saw her, not live, but the first time I saw her, I think she won an award at the Brits, and she brought her little sister up and her little brother, I think.
Aww,
brought them up to stage and was like,
that's nice.
That was like, and when we were watching, we were like, you know, she seems like a nice girl, and now she's just like ripping it up, isn't she?
Superstar level.
Yeah, proper superstar. What would be your? It doesn't have to be the one that you're potentially going to do later, but what would be your cover track that you would do at your dream gig?
Oh God, that's a hard question.
They're all hard questions, mate. Come on.
I know. I really wish you'd like send me these beforehand so I could have a little cheeky think before. That's a really good question.
Well, what about your duet? Because what we've said, we've got a couple of different things on here. So you can do a cover track of someone, or you can do, because I remember you guys said Skater Boy, and I nearly said, because I went to their gig on the Thursday and yours on the Friday.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I thought, if you did because you said about bringing Skater Boy back, I'm sure you did.
Do you know, since that conversation happened,
nothing's happened.
Never been mentioned.
Never
once.
been mentioned. No.
I actually used to be obsessed with that song.
Did you?
Good song.
Yeah, by Avril Lavigne, I used to be obsessed with it.
Should have heckled it and just shouted it out. Cover this.
I didn't want to heckle you. I was a guest at your thing. I didn't want to.
No, I think you should have. That would have been interesting to see where that would have gone. Probably nowhere would have gone. Get what you're
well, if I come to the next gig on Friday, I'll go, Skater Boy!
Shit.
You forgot about that one, didn't you?
Start learning, yeah.
So you can basically have your cover track. So it could be Avril Lavigne or anything you want. And you can also do a duet with someone as well. Again, dead or alive, bring whoever you want onto the stage. What's been the most famous duet, would you say? Bowie and...
Bowie and Queen.
Yeah.
George Michael and...
Elton John.
Eminem, Elton John.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm clutching at straws.
Just clutching.
Band-Aid, that's the big duet.
No, I don't mean Band-Aid, do I?
Take your pick, there's loads in there.
That's not what I meant, Rob.
Right.
Right, what would be your cover track?
I don't know. I feel like if it was a duet, I feel like A Whole New World is like one of my top favourite songs, but it's very Disney.
It is very Disney.
But it is Disney.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who I would duet with.
You don't need a guy, right? So
well, I guess if you wouldn't.
No, you probably wouldn't. It's probably not very 2022 of me. But what I mean is that you'd need someone with a lower range than you to be able to do the Aladdin bit.
I'll bring Malik on.
Yeah.
He's definitely got a lower range than me.
All right, fair enough. And then what would be your cover track? I mean, because at the moment, right, so when you're performing, because obviously you've done your gig at Hotbox and you've had other gigs that I've seen you do in the past. I saw you were busking, weren't you, on Thursday or
trying to get some extra people into the gig.
Is that what that was for?
Yeah, I had like flyers with like a QR code on and stuff. And I was like, people kept like chucking like pounds and stuff in, and I was like, no, take a flyer. I was like, I don't want the money.
The only busker ever to say that.
I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even think that people were going to start chucking money in because I was so set on giving out the flyers.
Yeah.
But then I was like, how can I sing, play guitar and hand out flyers? And obviously it was like the middle of a working day, so I couldn't drag my sister or my dad down or anything. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to put them in. I like laid them all out. And then everyone was like walking past, like not even really looking, just like chucking money in. And I was like, I literally left with like 60 quid and I was like, how's this even happened? Like,
that's a good shift though, isn't it?
Literally, like, I was like, what? Like, I was so baffed. I didn't actually go out thinking I was going to even earn any money because I just was like, right, it's the flyers. It's all about the flyers. And
where was you busking?
Pardon?
Where was you busking?
Literally in between the two banks in Chelmsford, like in the main centre bit.
Oh, literally slap bang in the high street.
Yeah. Because I was like, do I do up by the station or do I do down by like the main bit? So I was like, I'll try and find somewhere like in between to get.
I think there because you've got like 3 different directions coming into that bit, haven't you? So it's like the main thoroughfare of Chelmsford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. It was so scary though. I bought a busking like 6 years ago. And I swear to God, I bought it, looked at it and was like, that's so scary. Just put it in my cupboard and never used it. Yeah, I think I used it for a rehearsal with my guitarist once.
Oh, really?
In my like front room, and that was it. I never used it again.
So you're not regular busker?
No, I feel like I want to do it more because it was actually really good. It was just like a paid practice almost. Like, so, because I do weddings and I do like loads of other stuff, and obviously everything. Like when I'm singing someone down the aisle, I'm like, oh my God, if any mistake was to happen, I'd be like devastated with myself. So it's good to practice the songs that I would probably be singing in them situations.
Do you play your own songs when busking?
I haven't done. I just did covers when I was out on Thursday, I think it was. Yeah. Last week.
Day before the gig.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and do it again, but it's just finding the time. I feel like I'm just so busy at the moment.
Yeah.
I stupidly keep like booking things in. I'm like, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, I'll come to that. And then I'm like trying to fit all my work and social stuff together. I'm like, oh God, what have I done? Like, I just want to book a week off and just lay in bed.
Relax. I think we all get to that point when we're trying to build something though, but it's part of it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't say no to it. It's very difficult to say no to certain things, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if I say no to stuff, I'll just end up regretting it anyway. So I'm like, no, it's better to be tired and keep powering through.
Like massive FOMO.
Yeah.
Of missing out on that opportunity or that thing that comes along.
I was going to say, because like from both of your perspective as artists, like there's got to be a fine balance in between like trying to get the gigs and getting the experience and actually having downtime as well, because obviously everyone's got day jobs and stuff, so it must be difficult to find that balance.
Oh yeah, I really struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle with the balance all the time.
What about you guys?
I think it's more finding the time to go and do the gigs, enjoy them, make the most of them, and find that time to go, right, we actually just need to write and record and look at that side of things as well.
Yeah.
It's just a juggling act of everything. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. It's just...
No.
But always say yes. If an opportunity comes along, you never say no to it. You make it work.
But then I think it's different for you, B, because like you say, you're doing other events as well. So you're doing, like you said, you're doing weddings and stuff like that. And I've seen you've done a few performances. Is it
Who's that?
Do you know what, right? I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning because my fucking rabbit outside was like, seriously, she's a pain in the ass, right? She's like, rabbits do like this thing where they thump. Like if they feel threatened.
Yeah, I got a rabbit. Oh. I had 2, but one actually passed away in the heat. No, my dad would actually kill me. My dad was like, I'm really sorry that your rabbit's gone, but at least one of them's gone. He hates them because they just poo all over the garden.
Well, we used to let ours out in the garden, right? She used to roam quite free, but then we got a dog. So she's like she's got quite a big run and she's in her hutch and all that. But the 5 o'clock this morning, all I could hear was like... And it woke me up, and then Charlotte was like, "Is that the rabbit?" I was like, "Yeah." So I had to go out there at like 5:30 in the morning, try and shut her up.
What was it? Smacking, kicking, whatever.
She was like kicking her.
They like thump.
Yeah, like thumping within her hutch.
Mine's literally called Thumper because it just thumps so much. And I love Bambi.
No rabbits did that.
Yeah, they do it if they feel threatened. But she might have been dreaming because I went down there and I went, what the fuck are you doing? She was like, "Whoa!" and like started off. So I don't know. But anyway, so that's why I was stuttering, so I'm tired. So I apologise.
I stutter when I'm not tired, so just go for it. Embrace the stutter.
So you said that cover tracks. Oh no, I was going to say the Stag. Is it Stag Pub you do a lot of performances
I did do a few there, but I don't know. Not been too many recently.
No.
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of artists, and I had every time they've asked me, I've had like weddings and stuff on. So I think they've got like a few other artists that they have like a regular like every 2 weeks or something.
Right.
But to be honest, I've been so because it's wedding season.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a better paid gig, right?
Yeah, definitely, and it's nicer as well. Like my voice is quite angelic, so it's singing.
So's Rob's.
It's been known. that is a common urban myth.
Sorry, go on.
It's for me, like with a guitar or like a piano or something, singing someone down the aisle kind of like suits my voice really well.
What's the most commonly requested aisle song? Is that a phrase? Is that a phrase?
I guess so.
I'd say like 1,000 Years is like a very popular one, or there's a few Ed Sheeran ones obviously that are all quite popular. But yeah, to be honest, there's not really that many that repeat. It's quite a lot of the time I think people choose songs that are like personal to them and their relationship, so it can be.
Do you ever
really
get given
different.
a request of a song that someone wants you to walk down the aisle and you go, fucking hell, that's difficult, or not this one, this is a naff song?
Honestly,
you can't say what the song is because they might listen to it. They're booking you again.
If it's too hard, I'll just change it. Like in terms of, it's normally fine for vocals, but if it's too hard on guitar, I'll just change the chord. I'm not a very good guitarist, but I will do it for money.
So when you said about piano as well, is that you? Do you play piano, or you have someone accompanying you?
No, I've done it a few times where I've like had a pianist. I nearly called him a piano man then. That's not very good professional.
Yeah, is that a Billy Joel?
Billy Joel. He can complete if Billy Joel comes and plays you down the aisle.
But yeah, I've had it a few times. There was one time I think it was like a few months ago, and the bride was like, "Oh, so I've obviously got you singing for my wedding, no knowledge of anyone else being involved." She was like, "And I've also found a pianist, and if you guys can just turn up on the day and just do it together." And I'm like, that's normally fine, like I normally wouldn't mind, but when it's a complete like walking down the aisle signing the registration, like I was like, oh my God, we literally rehearsed everything once through and then we had to do it. I was just like,
how was that? How was the actual performance of it? Was it all right?
It was actually okay.
Yeah.
Like I think where it was just vocals and piano, it wasn't too bad. It was just more the fear inside because you're oh my God, there's no rehearsal, there's nothing. And it was one of the most emotional weddings I've ever been to in my life. Like when the bride walked through the doors, everyone cried. Like everyone in the whole room.
Wow.
I imagine you're one of those.
So emotional.
What, bride? Or emotional?
A crier at a wedding.
No, I actually have it. I don't think I cried at the wedding, but Charlotte never lets me live it down that I didn't cry when the kids were born.
Wow.
She's like because my mate, one of my best mates, Ash, he's like a proper he's a real like quite. Normally he's not, but when it came to the birth of his children, he's proper bawling his eyes out. And then so I get reminded every now and again, well, you didn't cry. I was like, I'm quite emotional generally.
You didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what though? Like, I mean, going through that. Obviously, it's difficult for the woman, right? I'm just saying it now. Obviously. But being the partner in that and being so helpless and not being able to do anything to help.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's fucking horrible. It's so horrible. So, yeah, I think when the kids were born, I was just relieved more than anything else. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it was, so anyway.
And then you can get left with the children.
Well, I did, because she went off to do what ladies have to have done afterwards. And I was just sitting there with my little kids, like feeding her. And it was like, that was with a bottle, not my.
I was thinking that. He's done well.
They're getting like that at the moment. I need to get back out on my bike. Anyway, we were talking about cover tracks.
I don't know.
So from all of your wedding experience and the cover tracks you were performing in Chelmsford on Thursday, what would be your favourite cover track that you'd perform at your dream gig?
I still don't know. I feel like I go through phases where I like really love songs and then I'm like, oh, now I'm on to the next one. I feel like recently I've really started to enjoy, I think it's On My Mind by Georgia Smith.
Right.
I think that's quite a nice song to do acoustically. So yeah, I'm gonna say that because my brain
that's
will
fine.
allow me to think
I'm glad you made the
one.
decision. With so when have you guys had a rider yet? Is it something that it's been requested? What is the right term for it, by the way?
Rider, I guess it would be.
Just rider.
We have had one, I think, but it's more like, does anyone want any drinks when you get here? Kind of thing, but not like to the extent you're thinking.
For people that don't know, it's like a request that you can make that's waiting for you in your sort of...
You still have to pay for your rider.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't... Your
That's
rider isn't free, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, your rider isn't free.
Fucking hell, I've been
Do you know
costing
what?
money.
I think it is free in like the...
Oh yeah, if you're
big,
like big time,
levels,
but I imagine like the gig just pays for the rider.
Yeah.
Well, it's like with like my dad, they're touring next month, and they've been asked what they want on their rider and stuff. So I just assumed it was that all the way down.
No.
I think it must be at some point, because what I did, is it called artist liaison? I think that's the right term. I worked at a few festivals doing that job.
Right.
And my job was to one of my jobs was to set up the dressing rooms before the artists came and stuff. And I was given a list of their riders, and like some of them were like crazy. I had to make sure that there was a certain type of chair in there facing in a certain direction, and like it was really interesting to see how specific.
Who was that?
I'm not going to say any names.
Tell us off pod.
Yeah. We'll
But what festivals have you worked at doing that then? Because that's quite. I imagine that's quite an interesting job.
Do you know what? My brain is absolutely awful. There's one in Brighton that was the main one that I did it for.
Right.
And I have no idea what it was called. My brain is
How did you get into that though? How was you?
It was actually through BIM, which was the uni that I studied at.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of had connections with quite a few festivals. I think there was Truck Festival and Why Not, I think it was called. And then there was another few. But yeah, I think they had the connections, and then they kind of just put us through. I think they were happy for the free work. So we were like, yeah, we want experience. They were like, yeah, come with us.
That'd be quite a cool job, I think, especially if you're getting into the industry and that as well. See all that, but yeah, I can imagine you've got quite a few interesting requests.
Yeah, it was really interesting, but yeah, it was also a bit annoying because you had to be professional. So if there was someone that you thought, I'm really big fan of them, you couldn't be like, oh, can I get a picture? You have to be like, oh, here's your dressing room. Like, try and be like all proper and professional, which was a little bit hard. But
have you ever had that? Have you had? Who's been like the most famous person that you've sort of
met?
Yeah, met.
Well, I worked at Global, didn't I? For a few years.
Yeah.
So there was an extensive list of people that you met, and after a while, we realised they're just people.
Yeah.
There was two that really starstruck me. The first one was Alex Turner, Miles Kane. Like, that's two, but one. Well, Alex Turner and Miles Kane walked past. I was just at my desk doing whatever. Looked up. All right, and they carried on going. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And then I'm a really big Ricky Gervais fan.
Yeah,
I'm a massive Ricky Gervais fan. You know his laugh.
Yeah,
I sat at my desk and couldn't see him. I just heard I won't try and do this.
Do it.
No, I'm not trying to do his laugh. From behind me, I was like, no. And I was like discreetly, like, look over my shoulder and like, because you get told don't talk to them, but don't be weird. Like if they talk, but if they talk to you, be polite, respond.
Is it like the equivalent of meeting the Queen?
Yeah,
like, you only speak when you're spoken to.
Yeah, no pictures, just be normal. If it's your job to interact with them, great, do it.
Yeah. If
not, headphones on, you crack on.
Fair enough.
And I was like, I think I went to the toilet too many times just to walk past the desk.
Is he all right?
Yeah, it was that kind of situation. They're the only two that really got me.
Yeah, fair enough.
How about you? Anyone?
No, not really. I mean, I've had it where Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex, but no, not really. I did have a photo of him once.
Yeah.
But no, not really. I think that I used to work in editing in an advertising agency. So we used to have a few people come in. Joanna Page used to come in, like Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
Like she'd come in quite a few times. She's doing a bit of voiceover work. But yeah, no, not really. No, not really. I've met a few people here and there when my dad's been working with people. But then again, they're sort of his
You just realise they're
era.
just people, don't you?
Yeah, like we've had the one that comes to mind is when so every now and again they'll do like a 70s mania thing, and my dad plays keys for David Essex and the MD and that. So he was like a 70s mania thing, and like the Osmonds were there.
Yeah, okay.
And like so they came with their brood of like all their kids, grandkids. There was
oh my god,
loads of them. But yeah, I've met a few people here and there. But again, like, it's not my era, is it? So I don't really
care.
No, that's not the right term. I didn't really understand who everyone was. Stop digging me a fucking grave. He won't want to come back on. Right, so yeah, what would be on your rider? So would you choose a chair facing the sunset, or would you? What would be on your rider? And you didn't have to pay for it.
Oh, I feel like a bottle of like banana sambuca.
Oh my god.
That would be like top.
Fuck.
I absolutely
fucking
love
grim.
sambuca,
So
and it's so good for the vocal folds. It warms you right up.
I'm just not a sambuca. I think I've just
No.
done too many sambucas. When I used when I used to go out and
And the
stuff.
fact it's banana as well.
Oh, I love banana.
I haven't tried it, but I imagine
really
it's
good.
like, is it similar to? Do you remember that cough medicine or whatever? It was like banana. I'm sure it's banana. It might have been lemon. But anyway, that's what it would feel. I feel like it would remind me of.
I feel like potentially it could be similar because it's like
Yeah.
licorice sort of flavour, isn't it? Or like aniseed or whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called, but
The idea of
Yeah.
just drink the sambuca and deal with that. And then get kicked by the banana as well.
Not a fan of bananas. We get it.
No.
We get it. What else would you have on your rider?
if it was hot, I feel like a fan would be a must.
You were walking around on Friday with like a handheld fan, weren't you?
Yeah, it was so hot, and I was like, why is it so warm? It wasn't even that hot outside, but inside, as soon as you step through that door, it's just like...
It was actually quite chilly on the outside, wasn't it? Because we
Yeah.
parked at the bottom of Chelmsford and walked up. And I said to Charlotte when we were walking up, I was like, oh, bloody hell, I wish I bought my jeans. I wish I was wearing my jeans because I feel a bit like whatever. And we literally stood outside and it was like, heat just hit you.
Yeah, I feel like even if you stood outside but next to the door, like you were still hot.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
It
definitely.
was so warm.
It's called Hotbox for a reason, I think. Was it you
Yeah.
that said that?
Yeah, literally. I don't know. Sometimes I just have like verbal diarrhea. It's just like these stupid comments fall out my mouth when I'm in like situations like being on stage or being on a podcast.
That is what podcasting is for. We're all here for that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I've said to countless times on here now that when you do a radio interview, it's all very much whatever. But on here, people come to podcasts to watch and to listen to hear the real you.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're very sick of hearing the real us. But you're nodding.
I'm sure they're not.
We hide nothing.
No, we just talk. Yeah.
Utter shite.
But people are listening and
They
watching.
do, yeah.
So thank you very much. We hit like 7,500 views the other day.
That's amazing.
That's really impressive.
I think quite a bit of that's probably to do with the new short videos that we're uploading as well. But either way, I'm chuffed with that.
Take nothing. They'll take it all. Take all
Yeah,
the credit.
definitely. I think the acoustic tracks have been a good addition.
Yeah.
Something we've always wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I need to talk to you, Manish, after because we want to get the acoustic sessions booked in for our artists who've previously been on.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, let's do that.
couple of Saturdays. He's
like, fuck work. So cheers. That's just what I wanted.
We're talking about how busy we are, so we need more stuff to do. Maybe at the weekend it'll be fine.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm not going to
Okay.
just expect you to do it. It'll be this.
Oh.
But you'll just have to waste your weekend as well.
Yeah, you get to spend the weekend with me.
That's lovely.
Right, because they're ripping the shit out of me, we're going to take a break. We can take a break, and when we come back, I've got some quick fire questions for you. Oh, hang on, did we do everything? Oh, after party. Where's your after party? So you've just done O2.
Jesus.
Do you want to think about it in the break, and then we'll come back to it?
Yeah.
Right,
let's
we'll do that. We're going to come back with the after party in section 3. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsigned podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying the episode this week, but I wanted to talk to you about our Patreon. It's basically a subscription service that puts money back into Unsigned, if that's the podcast, a radio show, whatever. It helps us generate a bit of an income to support these unsigned artists and to run events and also do this podcast every week. So if you want to support the podcast and support the Unsigned music brand, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Unsigned Music UK. And you can sign up for just £1 a month. What can you get for that price? Anyway, let's get back to the episode.
The Unsigned Podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Unsigned Podcast, section 3, and we are continuing with B. Arnold's dream gig, and we want to know where your after party is, and it's not allowed to be at Pop World.
Oh, what?
Oh, that's cruel.
That's not fair.
That was cruel.
It can be at Pop World if you want.
Let's go with Pasha, actually, because that was the first club I ever went to when I turned 18. I literally waited outside on my birthday until the clock struck 12.
I'm with you on this one. I've just aged.
I've
I've got no clue.
Isn't Pasha in Ibiza?
Well, I'd say that's like one of the best ones, but there is a Pasha in London.
Oh, right. Okay,
Well, at
fine.
least there was a Pasha in London when I turned 18.
I think I turned 18 a lot longer ago than everyone else. Right, cool. So your after party's there.
17
Good.
years ago.
Yeah, all right, fuck off. Have you selected your 3 artists yet?
I've got 2.
2. All right, you
I've
give
got 2.
B 2.
So,
do you want to tell her what the concept is? Or?
oh, so we discussed it already. So what was it? Snog, marry, avoid?
No,
no, it was. But we was doing.
Oh, instead we're doing. So you got to spend one night with an artist, do a gig. So just one night. You've got a world tour with them. So you go on tour with them for a year while world tour, or you get to write with one of them. So it used to be
Okay.
Gig.
Snog, marry, avoid, but musician
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you was changing one. So one of the options was you completely delete them as an artist.
Oh my god.
That's a bit drastic.
That is so intense.
That's the equivalent of avoid.
I
isn't
know,
it?
right? So Lizzie, right, is my other co-host on this, and I said I couldn't think of a better. So I wanted to do like Snog, Marry, Avoid, but I did that, and I was like, so you can gig with them, tour with them, or put them in the bin. But I couldn't think of a better version of putting them in the bin.
I like the idea of putting them in a bit. You get their back catalogue, gone.
In the bin.
They don't exist anymore.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to play it safe and do gig tour right, or do you want to not play it safe and do gig tour bin?
Go bin. Go bin.
So harsh.
You said we're going bin. I've decided.
Oh, okay. Rob has decided.
So you said Bring Me
Okay.
Horizon earlier. So
Yeah.
Ollie, is it Ollie? That's the singer. Bring Me
Yeah.
Horizon. You can have. We'll go along the same lines and go Matt Healy from 1975, and then just to throw a legend into the mix, David Bowie.
Oh, what? Okay, right. What were the options again? My brain's really.
So you've got 1975.
No, before that. What
Bring
was
Me
the
the Horizon.
No.
Oh, gig
No,
tour
which-
right. A gig tour bin.
Gig. So I'd go on tour with Ollie Sykes, have a gig with David, and then was it Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to bin him.
No, I agree with that. That was easy, wasn't it? That was really,
Well, it isn't. It isn't.
that was the
in my
quickest one
head.
we've had yet.
In my head, I was still writing. I was writing with Bowie in my head, and I was
You
like, "Oh,
are-
we're not
you'd
doing
be,
that."
You'd be
are
there
we?
for years. That would not be a quick process.
What's the one where he sings in extras?
chubby little fat man?
Chubby little fat man.
I love David Bowie. You could never get rid of him.
No.
No. Have we done this to you yet? An equivalent.
I can't remember. We've started to establish, because I talk so much in this, because it's sort of always me, and then I've got a co-host, usually Rob or Lizzie, right? And we've had a few other co-hosts in. Thank you for them. But generally, I just gas for ages, and no one asked me any questions. So no, probably not. I think you
Okay.
actually asked me for the first time the other week how my week was.
Did I really? I didn't do it today, did I? Even no. How has your week been?
Generally, well, good, because went to your gig.
No, we did touch on your week.
Oh, we did touch, yeah. Well, yeah. And it was based around you.
And we have you not learned by now?
Yeah, no, I have. Yeah, poor Georgia. Carry on. Give me 3 artists then.
For a free artist, well,
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you don't write or anything, so
Do you know what? Confession. I've tried before.
please.
Sing us a song.
No, I can't sing.
Please send it over.
Mate,
Is
it was
recorded-
so
is it-
many
is
years
it recorded with your vocals on it?
ago.
Please.
I don't think so.
I bet it is. You're fucking lying. Look at that face.
I just the thing is, it was literally about
They're on your phone,
20
aren't they?
years. No, not on my phone. It's like 20 years ago. So God knows like where they are.
Honestly, I would love to see you try and do something like that again. Just for, obviously not to go anywhere with, because
Do you know what? You know what I'm like? I've always come up with a load of ideas, and
Yeah.
I have got so much shit that goes around in my head that I always have to get it down on paper. But I don't, and I've had so many ideas for, TV shows and documentaries and stuff. But I've never been very poetic when it comes to writing. So I don't think I'd make a good songwriter.
I think you're lying.
No, I'm not.
You say this though, but like literally was the bottom of my class in the bottom set for English. Like I'm
Right.
severely dyslexic, but somehow it just happens.
But it's different, like writing. So what I mean that you don't have to be technically good at writing, as in knowing your adverbs from your nouns and stuff, but creatively and poetically for getting it out of you onto paper, like you obviously have that. I don't feel like I've got that. I can create a spreadsheet.
Well done. You love a form.
I love a form.
How does your writing process work?
I
An
feel
actual
like
music question.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
threw me off then and fell off my chair.
I feel like I can have like multiple different processes, because I think the best songs that I've written I've come up with whilst I've been driving and just shoved like voice notes on and just literally like done like an hour's voice note and then just gone home and kind of reconstructed everything and worked it all out, or like come up with the hook or something and then gone home and like worked it out. But I've written songs I've got a friend, Tori Cross, and I wrote Toxic with her. And we literally spent the whole of lockdown writing like a song a week at least on Zoom. So like we got into a habit of doing that. And she was in London, but now moved back to Manchester. Was it Manchester? It was Birmingham. So now we still do the writing, but it's always on FaceTime or Zoom. But then obviously when I'm in a session, it will just be like come up with a beat or a groove, and then with the writers, like, so I find when I write by myself, I find driving helps me with my creativity. But obviously there's multiple ways that I find have worked as well. So
not one set way.
Yeah, but it's nice to change it up as well. It's like writing by yourself and then writing with other people, and yeah, it's nice to do it in person as well after so many sessions online.
Yeah, imagine it's difficult online and not be able to gauge someone's not reaction straight away, but have them in the room going.
But it's like away from writing and music, like it was difficult doing that with radio. Like interviewing when I because when I first played your track, it was Toxic, and it was when I was on Radio Chelmsford, and when I was co-presenting with Will, we done breakfast for a few weeks together, and we had it as one of your track of the week. And that's when we first sort of played you on there. But when we were interviewing on the radio, it's like, because you couldn't be in the room with anyone. And a lot of it is remote anyway these days. They're even on the mainstream stations, all right, they're probably back to normal now. But for a long time, people were working from home, even on the biggest radio stations. Yeah. So, you know, what we do on the stations that we're associated with, it is all sort of remote. But especially during lockdown, it had to all be over Zoom, and it was shit. It's just so difficult, like trying to gauge people. Like I interviewed like Untold Poet, I interviewed the Ocean Floors. Like I had so many different interviews that I'd done. I interviewed Abby, and that was over Zoom, and it was just like, it was really hard work. So I guess like even doing conference calls now, it's just
don't like them.
I spend all day on conference calls. I get sick of them. So that just winds me up. So being in person is so much better. This is why we want to do this. Like, because it's just so much better than
in the room, live in the fresh,
in the fresh.
It's not fresh in here. Flesh.
No, it's not. No. It's not fresh in here. But I know that at some point there will be artists that are like, look, we really want to do the podcast, but we can't get down to London. Then at that point we'll have to explore doing the Zoom thing. But if you can get down here, Tuesday nights, October, get booked in.
Is that how far ahead you're booked in?
Yeah. September's booked. We're just waiting for a definite confirmation on one, and then we just booked our first October date today.
That's crazy.
We've got a few people lined up in October, but they haven't confirmed yet, so it's first come, first served.
Business is booming.
Say it again.
Business is booming.
Not sure about that, but we're definitely getting booked up. Right, let's do some quick fire questions, yeah? Ready?
Okay.
Quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Emphasis on quick. I don't think I've had anyone on here that's given the quick answer back.
No, we're usually tangenting.
Yep.
Best gig you've had so far?
I'd say Friday was probably the best gig. I think it's always nice to do like a gig I love London gigs, but local Essex means that my friends and my family that don't necessarily like going into London because they don't like getting the tube, or they just don't want to, and my parents can come and stuff like that, so it's always nice to.
Your mum was like front and centre, wasn't she?
Yeah, my sister was making her dance. I was like, oh, here we go, it's all kicking off.
Who was your how did you meet your, I know this is quick fire, but whatever.
You are the tangent.
I am the tangent. I wanted to speak about a band, is that all right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, especially, all right, okay, good. Bass and drums.
Ooh.
Yeah. How did you meet them?
So the drummer, Sam, I used to be like the biggest emo scene kid like ever, and I used to hang out with all my really cool emo friends, and we used to hang out by the skate park in Chelmsford, and Sam was one of my really cool friends. Right. So I met him through like just hanging around in Chelmsford, like friend of a friend and stuff. Yeah. And then I stayed in contact with him when I went to uni, and then when I came back I was like, look, I want to do I'm going to release an EP, and I want to do a release party and have a live music band, and I'm trying to put together like a group of people, and I had a bassist, but then they kind of like pulled out really close in straight after they agreed basically, and I was like, Sam was like, I've got this really good friend of mine, Chris, who is my bassist now, and they then he came along to the rehearsal and it worked really well. But because they're such good friends, and obviously like you want the drums and the bass to be really tight anyway, and like they just work so well together.
It looked like they were having a laugh as well.
Yeah, they always take the mick out of me.
I don't think they were taking the mick out of you on Friday. They were just like every now and again.
In rehearsals, they always wind me up, or they'll take the mick out of me, or they'll just say something and then they're just like.
That's just a given, though. Push the singer as far as possible until they break.
It's always good fun,
until they break.
That you just do.
Well, hopefully they won't break me.
I think that's any band, though. You just wind the singer up.
I wouldn't want to wind Kirsty up.
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
Fair enough. He was working the crowd quite well because you had a couple of technical difficulties, didn't you?
Yes.
So he was like standing there and he was trying to get the crowd to like cheer and go quiet, and then they weren't doing it. They weren't understanding what he was trying to do, so he had to go on.
No.
Yeah, they are both very funny. I find them both hilarious. When they're separate, they're funny, and when they're together, they're just like they're so funny.
Yeah.
But I think Chris was just like, why have you given me the microphone? But I was like, I need someone to take it.
Well, you had a couple bits, didn't you? Because you had one where you were sorting your hair out, bless you. And then you had to go and sort out something to do with the laptop as well, wasn't it? Because you had your backing track that was being a bit of a pain.
So we've got like a new setup. So it's like iPad with Cubase on it, with like the stems for everything. Because obviously my music is full of like sounds that aren't real music. Like sounds, so the sounds that have been produced and created on like a software. So all of that stuff is on the iPad, and for some reason we have to send everything for you guys goes to channel 1 and 2, and everything for us in our in-ears goes to 3 and 4. So obviously the click for us is on 3 and 4, and you guys aren't meant to hear that. And then we press play and the click just came through. It's always toxic. There's always something wrong with that song. Whenever it comes to it, there's always something that goes wrong. Yeah, literally. like ruined it for myself.
I didn't notice the click come on though.
I don't know whether it did or whether it was just us in our in-ears being really loud, because we were the only ones that noticed it.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
But it did sound like it was coming through the front of house speakers. Okay. So we panicked. All of us were like, what? I don't know whether Chris did, but me and Sam were like, what's going on? But when we did it again, like I checked it and it was only going to 3 and 4. So I was like, what is happening? Like, I was like, this is playing.
Overthink it.
So I was just like, just play it. And like, if it happens, like, I don't know what we're going to do, but everyone's going to hear a click.
No, we didn't.
But yeah, it didn't. The second time it was fine, but yeah, it was very stressful. We're still getting used to the whole setup, and it's a lot.
Are you going to add any more people to that, like on guitar or keys or anything, or are you happy with the setup?
I think we work really well as a free, and it just means like it makes it easier when there's not too many people to get a date free for, and obviously where I'm not able to pay a load of money, like it makes it easier for me to pay the boys a decent amount because there's only 2 of them. So like if I get paid like a rubbish-ish amount of money, like I'd happily just split it between the 2 of them, and then like if it was split between 3 of us, it would be like a bit rubbish, but I split it between them 2 and it's not so bad. But if it was more people, then it just means more people that I feel guilty about, because they're amazing in so many ways, but especially one of the things that they're so helpful for as well is that they want to help me. So they're not like, oh, well, you need to pay us for this, you need to pay us for this. Like even petrol for the practices, like Sam lives in Ipswich and he drives all the way down. Like it's like he gets back at like 1 a.m. sometimes. I'm just like, I'm so grateful for both of them because they're just so great, like musicians and people. So yeah.
Gave them a little follow on Instagram.
Oh, did you?
Nice.
Yeah.
They'll be very appreciative, I'm sure.
And what is your guilty pleasure track? Or what would be a track that we would, like you said, because in your music you're not very emo, but you said you're an emo chick, like, or whatever you said earlier. So what would be your sort of like track that, guilty pleasure track? Why not? Or what was your favourite emo track growing up?
Oh my God, was it Hadouken? That's a band, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to love 2 of their songs, but I can't remember. Me and my cousin used to like go crazy to them. Like both my cousins were quite like alternative, and I used to take quite a lot of inspiration from both my 2 older cousins.
Right.
So I feel like because they were slightly alternative, I just went to the full extreme. Like I had like the full like big hair. Like if you saw a picture of me back then, you'd be like, that's not you. like bleach blonde. Like it was. I don't know how I still have hair left on my head.
Well, what is because obviously you now versus like performer B.
Mm-hmm.
What is the wig? Is that like you've just gone for your artist style for performing? Like, why is that? I mean, you don't wear your wig, do you, when you perform anymore?
No, I don't.
I need mine. I don't know why I'm taking the piss out of you.
I looked at you, I was like, I just can't be bothered to do it. It's cheap. That's what it'd be.
Every week.
Confession, I didn't realise it was a wig.
It never used to be a wig. I did actually used to have pink hair, but because of the bleaching, like I would have photo shoots or gigs or something. So every time I got like a small bit of brown, it would look rubbish because this is my natural hair colour. So I was like, I'm having to bleach my hair every 6 weeks, and I'm having to dye it every week to 2 weeks with the pink hair dye.
Right.
And I was like, my hair is just getting so
it.
awful. And as well, it's so expensive. And I'm like, I want to put all my money into my music, not into like getting my hair done.
Yeah.
And like wasting 2 hours every 6 weeks sat in a hair salon. Like it's such a waste of time. So I was just like, no, I need to think of another alternative way. And I think my dad said, like, why don't you just get a wig or something? And it's like saved my hair from being tortured so much. And it normally is a good option other than Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's still like a little bit of like trial and error with finding the right things with it. But yeah, it is good. But I just when I have like busy days, like it's like there's never enough time to sit there and be like, right, like, I don't even have time to do my makeup when I'm on a normal day-to-day basis. So I'm like, putting a wig on is just not gonna happen.
I'll stay clear of it then.
I still think you would suit one.
Oh, fuck off, Rob.
That's a little toupee.
Melody first or lyrics first?
Either melody or both at the same time.
Right.
I feel like words are not my strong suit. Like I struggle quite a lot with words unless they just kind of like fall out. Like if I'm trying to write a song, like the words are always the hardest for me. I think where I make up words quite a lot as well. So I've released a song before, and my guitarist at the time was like, "You do realise that that's a made up word in the chorus?" And I was like, "What?" It's like, the song's been out for 2 months. Like, you should not have told me like beforehand.
Bands do that, don't they? Lucettes,
yeah.
yeah. Bands do that. I don't think that's a no. You get away with that.
Yeah, you get away with that, definitely.
It was the word recognition. So like, it wasn't even like a cool word. It was like, oh my god.
How'd you fit that into a song?
Recognition.
I don't know.
What was the Peter Andre one? He done the track, didn't he? And it was like, it wasn't recognition, but it was something like that. It was called, I'll remember later.
Do you know it?
I'll think of, no, I don't know it now. I've got to think of it.
Mysterious Girl or something like that.
No, it wasn't. It was the one that he done after he come out of the jungle, and it was not good. Well, no, Mysterious Girl was a banger.
He's probably unsigned now. We could get him on.
I think he's got enough money.
He doesn't need this.
Favourite food?
I think like any Italian food is probably my favourite food, because I just love pizza and pasta. I could eat it every day. Like,
my kids will always go pasta. I always go pizza.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gluten free. Like I have to be really careful with the pizza choice, but most of the time pastas, like I don't think that gluten free pasta tastes bad, but some of my friends.
It's also what
like,
you're used to, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been gluten free for a while. Like I started having stomach problems when I was like 16, so it took me a while to work out what it was, but we did get there in the end. I think it was like uni, so like 19 or something. I think that's what you are at uni. I don't know.
I didn't go.
No, me neither.
Did you not?
Just about went.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got into uni later on, so I'm 35 now, and I still don't really know what I want to do with my life, except for this, obviously. But I didn't go uni because I didn't know what I wanted to go and do. So I just went and worked. So I went and worked for my old man's firm for a little while, and then sort of floated around doing a few different things. But I've been working since I left. I did A-levels and then left school.
Yeah.
But then when I was sort of trying to establish what I really wanted to do, I did get an offer to go to Greenwich Uni to go and do media. But
nice.
But by the time I would have finished that, I would have been 25. And it's like, well, I might as well just go into media and, well, ironically, not in media anymore, except for this.
No, it went well.
Yeah, so I should have, I sort of feel like I had the opportunity when I was like 16 to go to, I think it might have been Havering College or something, to do like...
That's where I went.
To do like media production and radio production and stuff like that.
That's what I did at college.
And that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I should have like gone for that, but I think it was the easier choice to stay and do... A-levels at sixth form, just because that's what my mates would do. Most of my mates were doing, and I was a bit of a sheep, really. So I should have done what whatever. Favorite holiday destination? Quick fire.
Oh my God, that's really hard. I think one of my favourite places that I've been is probably America.
That's a big place, B.
I've been to multiple. I loved like Florida, obviously, because it's got like Disneyland and stuff. So
went there on my honeymoon.
Did you?
Really?
Oh,
For
it's
a day.
amazing.
Oh,
we
we
went
whole holiday was your
No, we went to maybe 2 days. We went to Disney because we had our little girl with us as well.
What park did you go to?
Disney.
Oh, what, like the actual, like one of the castle?
Yeah, I went there because she was only little and she saw Minnie Mouse and she loved it. So we went there I'm sure we only went there for a day. We went there and then we went down to Clearwater for 10 days.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago now. Instagram or TikTok?
I'd say TikTok for like watching and then Instagram for posting.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say like Insta's sort of like almost like your business page.
Yeah.
And then TikTok is like your consumer page, basically.
Yeah. It's just like if you're like watching videos, TikTok has like the best videos on it to watch. Like Instagram if there's videos on there, I find that most of the time they're just people copying and pasting the videos from it.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I do.
Sounds like us, yeah.
Exactly what I do.
But it's just like, why would you make the same video twice? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like it makes sense. But with Instagram, I find it easier to just upload a picture rather than I find finding time to make content really hard. So like I can take a picture and just like put a nice like preset on it and then that's it, it's done, dusted. Whereas if I have to make a video, I'm like, it's like an hour maybe because I'm just so bad at technology. It just takes me so, then I'll do something wrong and I'll just delete the whole thing.
I hate it. Like, the idea of having to put time aside to go make a video is just...
It's different though, isn't it? Because
it's a slog.
It is a slog, but
this is okay because we've got 3 cameras here that we'll chop it up.
We'll chop it up.
Joel will chop it up and it'll be online. It'll look really good.
Yeah.
But just anything else, it's just a slog. Like
it
having
is
to decide on the idea and then try.
I've tried.
Making time.
I think where I've tried to find what I want to do, like before I found like doing radio and stuff and doing this. I used to do a bit of vlog and like cycling stuff because I was into my cycling. I haven't done it for a while. But I like my cycling. So I used to do like cycling vlogs. So I cycled up to Cambridge and vlogged that and stuff. I quite enjoyed doing that. But again, it comes back down to time. It takes so long to edit all that.
Yeah.
And
I love making vlogs, but it's the editing. Like, I actually vlogged the whole of my last holiday that I went on. I went to Santorini with my family and we vlogged like the whole thing. But I haven't even started on the first vlog in terms of editing because it's just so long. It's ridiculous.
I think, we done the same thing. We went to, where did we go? Went to Portugal, like me, Charlotte, and the kids, and I, for exactly the same reason, what you were just saying, we were like vlogging it a bit, and I said I don't want like us chatting to camera. I just want little video. I said like 5 second, 10-second videos, and then I can just piece it all together. I don't think
good music and stuff. Yeah,
I haven't really looked at it. Because it's just a case of having to sit there and go through it all and all that, and then every week we're doing this, and it's like, I don't want to sit in front of it.
Give it to Joel.
No, I can't. I can't expect him to do that as well.
Family holiday videos. Would you like that?
Family, that would be taking the piss. What's the worst gig you've had so far? Or has there been any moments in it where, apart from your hair on Friday, but is there any moments where you've gone, oh fucking hell?
Not really. I think there's been a few gigs where there's been like literally just my like dad and my sisters. But I mean, I just see it all as like experience. So I feel like I'd have to be like, I don't know, someone throw eggs at me or something. That would be like an awful gig. But if something like really bad happened like that, then I would say I had a bad gig. But I think even if I mess up or something goes wrong, like my hair or whatever, I just think it's all just like a learning experience, and it's all for the memory box. So
it's a very good way of looking at it. Can you recommend an artist? Who's the last artist you listened to on your way here? Who do you have on?
I actually don't even know who I've listened to. Oh, there was a song. I can't even remember what it was called. I'm going to get it up on my Spotify because my brain is just so bad for remembering.
Last song you listened to?
Oh, Misfit by Amy Stud. It's a really old song.
Oh, okay.
Me and my cousin were like just listening to like loads of old tunes over the weekend. So I was like just putting on an old playlist. But that was literally the last song that I listened to.
Last song I listened to, I said to you earlier, I was listening to...
The Arctic Monkeys.
No, it wasn't the Arctic Monkeys actually. If it was...
New Metal.
Yeah, it was a new metal playlist I was listening to because I was pissed off and I thought it'd be a good idea to shove that on.
Get the rage out.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably Evanescence, one of their songs. I listened to that album. What was it called again? Okay, now can't remember. One of their songs. I listened to that earlier. Although on the car on the way here, I listened to nothing.
I do that sometimes. Just sit in silence. So.
Danny M11 in silence.
Yeah, that's a quiet drive.
Yeah, it was quite nice though.
That'd be me on the way home. Silence.
Who's an artist you'd love to see in concert?
I'm going to say Leah Kate because she is on my list because she's American. I'm hoping that she is coming to the UK. I think she's got like a London show in November, but yeah, I'm like praying I don't get booked because I'm like, I try not to book too far in advance just in case like something comes through because I'm like, you know, every penny counts. So I don't want to like cancel on something that I could potentially be booked for, but I'm like praying that nothing gets booked in for that day.
Have you talked to anyone about doing any like other collabs? I know you say you have your writing partners and stuff like that, but are there other collabs that you have got in discussion?
Yeah, so I find, again, it's just I've really struggled to like find the time to just like reach out to people, and I've had a few people actually reach out to me.
Did Charlie?
Yeah, we actually did say we was going to do a session, but
I think Charlie mentioned you when he was on.
Yeah, we said we were going to do a session at some point, but I think our time
Baker.
like just
Baker.
Oh. No. Did you not hear the car thing then?
No,
the
it was
big
my
horn.
shoe.
Oh, I heard it. I was like, how are we picking up a car horn down here?
It was my shoe on the stool. I think
that's why it was a shoe, but now that you said that, it actually could have been a car horn.
I was thinking, where's that come from?
I thought you were going, Charlie who?
No, I know Charlie is. Yeah. There was a...
No, sorry, it was my shoe, sorry. We're very professional.
It's just I think we just kept missing each other, but we did say we should like do a song together and just kind of like get knuckled down and book in a session.
Yeah.
So hopefully maybe when he's back from Thailand.
Yeah, he's having an amazing time out there.
Yeah, living it up.
Who would you say your biggest influences are?
Definitely, I would say Dua Lipa. And then I'd say like quite a lot of big artists like Anne-Marie. Like I used to be heavily influenced by Ariana Grande. Just like probably I'd say just like the typical like
big
pop,
names.
Yeah, typical pop queens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I just love pop. But I mean, I love all genres, but I think my voice is very poppy. And at uni, I tried so many different genres to like help other people out and just experiment and stuff.
Any genre you tried, you went, that's definitely not for me.
Well, it wasn't that. It was more the band saying, "Well, no, you just sound like a pop singer." So, like, it just never worked in any other way. My voice. I think I've got quite a strong like Essex accent as well, and I think
nothing wrong with that.
The mixture of the two wouldn't let me do anything else. So,
is there something you want to have a go at though?
Yeah. That's what
I
I was
mean?
going to say. Yeah, you beat me to it.
I'd like to try opera, like properly.
I wasn't
like,
thinking that.
Wow.
With like an actual proper like an opera singing teacher, because I think that's like just an incredible way of singing, and I'd love to give it a go. But I mean, I do when I'm drunk, and like it's like a joke. But I mean, God knows what I'm doing to my vocal cords.
What about you guys? I mean, you're like you say, you're rocky. You sort of touch on the glam rock bit, darkness a bit every now and again.
Disco, not disco, but
disco.
Like, yeah, just something like that. Like you watch our gigs, like the problem I've got is you can't dance to our songs.
You give it a bloody good go.
I know, and we sweat for it. But like the audience, it's difficult for them to like, you know, I don't know how they like that. My thing has always been the songs sound, it's big headed, but the songs sound good. The gig's tight. The audience, it's just standing watching kind of thing and going, this is good.
What would you expect from your crowd though?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think we've quite nailed yet.
Right. Okay.
Is how we want the audience to react.
I think the audience participation, which you both did at your gigs, I think is a good way forward, especially for you.
Yeah. It's just I'm not even. I don't know. Like if you're watching, think of the last gig you went to see that wasn't an unsigned act.
I don't know actually. I'm not sure.
Like if you went to watch Dua Lipa, for example, you wouldn't just be stood there watching, would you? You'd be dancing. Why?
Yeah.
Like you can't do that with our music.
I suppose.
And that's what like I don't know. That's what I think we need to work on a bit more.
There you go. Admissions are going to be working on that.
Hopefully they've done it tonight.
Hopefully.
And they've nailed it, and I ain't got to worry about that.
Right, so in the first section, I was supposed to give everyone some news, which I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. My tablet's on the fritz again. So I'm just going to give you some dates of what's going on. So Gia Lilly has just announced that she's got a gig coming up at the Underbelly in Hoxton on the 1st of October. So you can go to her bio
good
on there. Was that your birthday?
It is, yeah.
Grebo are going to be at Hotbox on the 2nd of September, and also we have got friends of the podcast, Ocean Floors, are going to be they're going to be in Hoxton as well. Colours of Hoxton on the 14th of October. So there's some news for you guys. Like I said we'll do every week because you said we needed more in the first section, so I thought we'd do a bit of news.
That was good. I like that.
I've got some song releases on there as well, but I think I announced all of them last week. So.
I love the way that it wasn't in date order as well. That was great.
It was in an order of... They were ages away as well, so you've got plenty of time to go and book tickets. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up, and then we'll do a couple of acoustic... Well, I say we. You'll do a couple of acoustic tracks, and then you guys will be able to watch all of those on YouTube in the coming days and weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for that. B, could you tell everyone where they can find you on the socials, please?
Social media is... Where am I looking?
You can look in that camera that's facing right at you.
Okay. So it's @BArnoldMusic_ on Instagram, Twitter, and then it's just @BArnoldMusic on pretty much everything else. So
yeah, cool.
Done.
Do you not want to tell people where to find you?
Oh, no, you can, yeah. Admissions.
Noise complaints before 9
Noise
out.
complaints before 9. Just go search it anywhere. Bee's going to listen in the car on the way home. She's in for a great time. Also, Rob and Ollie Radio on Instagram, 53rd in the global chart. Don't want to brag about it, but we're comedy legends now. I told everyone about it at work
I know,
today.
you put it on Facebook.
It's such a rubbish brag.
I'm 25th in the indie folk charts.
It's great, but yeah, admissions, go check it out.
And if you guys want to register to be a part of our gig at Hotbox on the 29th of September, you can go to our website, which is unsignedmusic.uk/events.
How long have you got left to register?
Until the end of the month. I think we've said the 4th of September is your last day to register to be a part of that. We've had quite a few registrations. We're also potentially looking at doing a few other events in the future as well. So if you miss out on this one, don't worry. There's going to be more opportunities. We're looking around London, Chelmsford, potentially Southend and Cambridge as well. So lots of opportunities where we're going to be hopefully doing gigs over the next few months. And I think that's pretty much it. If you're an unsigned band or artist, you know where to go. Unsignedmusic.uk, upload your music, and on futurehits.co.uk as well.
Upload your music there.
What?
On Future Hits.
Yeah, do that and then submit it and then we'll play it on the radio. Anyway, we're going to go now. Have a great week. Thanks for subscribing and we'll see you next time. Thanks, B, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Manish, thank you.
You're welcome.
Robert, thanks as always.
Thank you very much.
See you next week. Right, bye everyone. Have a good week. Cheers.
The Unsigned Podcast.